Padilla v. Kentucky, you have a case in which the U.S. Supreme Court decided criminal defense attorneys must advise non-citizen clients about the deportation risk of a guilty plea. The case extended the Supreme Court's prior decisions on criminal defendants' Sixth Amendment right to counsel to immigration consequences. So they're saying, hey, just plead out, just say guilty, but wait a second, you're illegal, now you're going to get deported, so you must fucking say that shit, right? So clearly that's that would make sense. But that has nothing to do with what it is I want to talk about. Okay, so Kentucky, in Gallatin County, just recently, you had a murder in Gary Burdine, pow pow, you're right, you had fucking Ed Caldwell, Neddy, being a murderer, kill, shot a motherfucker 4 times, right, didn't shot to kill, didn't shoot a leg, didn't shoot in the arm, fucking pow pow pow, shot him 4 fucking times, just like they shot Samantha Ramsey, right? Tyler Brockman runs over to Samantha Ramsey, pow, 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 now you dead, motherfucker. But we had dash cam, and we also hear how the cops fucking lied, right? Tyler Brockman, he says that she almost ran him over and killed him. He's like, oh my God, I need a squad, give me a squad. She almost ran me over and killed me. I'm an innocent man here, just standing here, not doing nothing, minding my own business, and this crazy bitch, Samantha Ramsey, tried to fucking kill me, tried to murder me, and I had to kill her because, you know, self-defense, and I had to do it. Bullshit. I don't fucking believe the fucking bullshit that they're saying. I think Ed Caldwell's an oppressor, molester. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a short, little bald-headed fucking twit. I think he's a piece of shit. I think he defends fucking child beaters, wife beaters. I think he cares more about the corporations than what he does about people. So here's what the fucking Gallatin County News says. And then there's also, you know, the Warnicks. How does the newspaper play in all this? How are they able to get it to the grand jury? All the grand jury proceedings are secret. So how do we know what the fuck actually happened, you know, behind closed doors? Also, the grand jury, it's one of the few things, I guess it's an American thing, but they say there's about like 23 different individuals that actually make up a grand jury, and then there was 12 of them at Louisville's grand jury. So I was put before a grand jury to see if I committed a felony, right? And the threshold for convicting, and it's not even, it's an indictment, okay? It's just an indictment, so it's not a conviction. I will not even use that word. The threshold in order to get an indictment, which is just a let's send this to trial, you know, type of an order, is probable cause. So, you know, the fucking cops always make up shit about probable cause. Oh, I had probable cause in order to, you know, arrest this guy because he done something and I thought he might have done something. There's probable cause. So there's a dead body. Gary Burdine is fucking dead. You got a dead body. You think a crime could have happened? There's probable cause that a crime could have happened. Of course there is. Of course there is. So the grand jury, if it was fair, if it was honest, would have went ahead and pushed it to a jury trial. Put it into court. Put the evidence out there. Let the defense, let the prosecutor put it out there and then go ahead and decide it. Unfortunately, the prosecutors have so much influence, undue amount of influence when it comes to the grand juries. It's behind closed doors. Prosecutor calls up 12 people and says, here's the case, here's what we want to do. And then the prosecutor wants to get all 12 people behind them on board, indict people. So there's an old saying, grand jury can indict a ham sandwich. And what that means is that a grand jury can indict anybody, anytime, for any fucking reason, you know, at any point. And that's fucked up. That's so fucked up, because if you can indict a ham sandwich, why the fuck can't you indict Ed Caldwell? You also can't indict Tyler Brockman. So you can indict a fucking ham sandwich, but you can't, you know, indict motherfucking murderers or would-be murderers. Put him before the jury. Let the jury fucking figure this shit out. No, force him to plea bargain, right? Spike, you know what the fuck you're supposed to do? You throw a bunch of charges on motherfuckers, and you force that asshole to fucking plea bargain. Oh, no, he's a cop. So that's what is so fucked up about the entire system is no point do they give a fuck about truth, and no point do they give a fuck about justice. Spike Wright thinks it is his job to defend the police. So that means the tail is wagging the dog. That means the police are doing as the fuck as they please, and then Spike is just covering their asses up. And that's fucking backwards and bullshit. Spike should be taking the lead and saying this is right and then this thing is wrong. The rule of law says nobody can break the law, but evidently, if you're a police officer, you can fucking murder in Gallatin County and Boone County, which is incredible because that's Northern Kentucky. They're right next door to each other. So weird, right? Election day, you got motherfucking murder and cops everywhere, just fucking willy-nilly, pop, pop, pop. This fascinating fucking, you know, case here. I even predicted, I fucking predicted that the fucking grand jury would just fucking, you know, wipe its hands of the entire shit. So you have see, and also predicted that the fucking story about Ed Caldwell being so scared and under, under fucking the gun and ready, that it would get worse and worse. And of course it has. So before it just seemed like they said that he was coming towards them and that he said something that he's going to shoot him, and then he shot him. And then now now we're fucking reading, the story's just changed like about 3 or 4 times. Now we're reading that basically Gary Burdine was on top of him, and then he turned around and told him to stop, and then he got, I guess, more on top of him, and then he pulled a gun out and was ready to shoot him, and then Ed Caldwell shot him 4 times. Pow, 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 pow. If you're that close, why couldn't you have grabbed the gun? Why couldn't you shot? I don't know. Without a fucking videotape and without me trusting the fucking word of the fucking police, I have no idea what the fuck actually happened, okay? And I almost bet you there's another witness. I guarantee the mother or somebody else was there. The reason why the whole case just fucking burns me up, because that's what fucking happens, right? The mom calls on the son. The son's drunk, right? He's blowing a 2.4 some shit. So he's fucking drunk as shit. Big fucking surprise. A drunk motherfucker is going to be fucking loud. And they call the cops on him. What kind of fucking parent calls a fucking cop on their fucking kid? Is he that big? They couldn't fucking handle him or some shit? I don't know anything about Gary Burdine. I don't know anything about the family. And so, I'm going to keep on. I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's fucking bullshit that he did not get, the grand jury didn't indict him. There is definitely, there's a dead body. You have a dead fucking body. You have probable cause. You have a cop go to you and be like, I smell alcohol in your breath. Come out here and give me a breathalyzer, right? They fucking lie. They make this shit up, and they'll just sit there and say, I smell alcohol. That's probable cause for me to fucking get you to blow on a breathalyzer. They're fucking lying. There's no truth to it, but there's probable cause, and then Spike Wright will fucking defend that shit. So if it get to a grand jury, hey, was there a probable cause for him to do a breathalyzer, that he already did? Well, yes, it is, okay? And let's put him in front of it. The grand jury is also for the felony cases, okay? So generally it's good for the public because it prevents the prosecution from just throwing felonies around for anybody. Now, what's, it's fucked up when they actually have to fucking cover their fucking ass. And then you even got Linda Talley-Smith. Linda Talley-Smith is the one that's covering this shit up in fucking Boone County. So there is a connection. There is a fucking connection. So blonde woman, right? Blonde female, like, elitist, fucking rich, like she's ever had fucking struggles. She also has a husband who's a fucking judge. They're making millions of fucking dollars. Commonwealth's attorney. She's a fucking millionaire. She's also going to get reelected. She's running unopposed. So she's been in there for 8 years. She's already made $1 million. Going to get in there for another 8 years. Going to be another millionaire. Big ass fucking Republican. Gives a fuck only about corporations. Doesn't care about working class people. Samantha Ramsey, Gary Burdine. These people are poor. These people are poor. They're not wealthy, and nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about these fucking assholes. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody cares. Because they're fucking irrelevant. Gary Burdine, who the fuck is he? But Ned, old Ned Caldwell, he used to control Glencoe for such a long time. I know Ned, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. The rule of law says that if you fucking murder somebody, it doesn't matter if you're the judge, doesn't matter if you're the president, doesn't matter if you're the governor, you get the same fucking treatment as everybody else. So, Spike Wright ready to fuck me over, ready to fucking rape the fuck out of me with a jury trial. He was going to do a jury trial, so we went ahead and bypassed the grand jury. And this motherfucker's already got fucking 30 people in the other room ready to throw a jury trial on me. But not for old Neddy. Nah, not for Ed Caldwell. He doesn't get a jury trial. And what was a jury trial? What was a jury trial? The jury trial, for me, it was when Kevin Deaton tried to fucking murder me. Kevin Deaton tried to fucking murder me. And then, they all wanted me to, they put me in fucking jail. It was all this other fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. It's absolute fucking horseshit. The reason why I plea bargain harassment communication is not that I felt like it wasn't just. It's just that I feel like people would say, well, he's an owner and he's not an owner, or some shit like that. They would ignore mom. They would ignore my mother, right? Lucy, who also owns the property, who also, plus it's my home. It's where I fucking grew up. But no, we're going to ignore all that shit. The law says, the law says what? Mom and dad has fucking control of the fucking thing. I had a fucking agreement, too, with mom, but it just expired, as of, the few weeks. But regardless, fucking regardless, bitch ass motherfucker. So, you know, a daddy could try to murder their own fucking kid, and they're gonna fucking throw you in jail, and they'll fucking put a jury trial on you. That's Spike Wright. So if you're, let's take Gary Burdine's fucking daddy, right? So let's say Gary Burdine's daddy tries to murder Gary Burdine. Gary Burdine doesn't fucking like it, fights back. Now Gary Burdine is faced with a fucking jury trial. He's going to have a jury trial. Spike is going to push it to it. He's going to go to jail. Spike is going to push him to have a fucking jury trial if he wants to fight the damn thing. So he has to face the goddamn jury because he's poor. He's a fucking nobody. He's not a goddamn cop. But you have a cop who's protecting corporations, banks, and the politicians. That's all they give a shit about, right? Because cops are, you know, the bitches to the politicians. Politicians are the bosses to the police officers. Everybody hates fucking politicians, but don't say a goddamn thing about a fucking police officer. Bullshit. They're the fucking arms of the politicians. You hate the politicians? Well, the cops are the ones that are fucking enforcing the politicians' bullshit decisions. So, Gary Burdine would be faced with the goddamn motherfucking jury trial, but not Neddy Caldwell, not good old Neddy Caldwell. Fuck Neddy Caldwell. The motherfucker killed a fucking dude. He's a fucking murderer, and he should have been put up for trial. I predicted this shit because Spike he thinks he's supposed to defend the fucking cops. He's a prosecutor. He wants to get as many fucking prosecutions as possible. You know, I've prosecuted thousands. I've ruined thousands of lives. I'm a good fucking prosecutor. No, you're not. You're an asshole. You don't care about truth. You don't care about justice. You don't give a fuck about anything. Just your own fucking... I don't even know what the fuck you care about. You have no fucking... The tail's wagging the dog. So if you think you're supposed to defend the cops, and the cops are kind of doing whatever the fuck they want to do, and then Spike is just covering their asses. So Linda Talley-Smith gets in, the Commonwealth's attorney. She's in there, and she's basically presented a fucking case to the grand jury, and the grand jury believed her, and they didn't issue an indictment, right? So whenever Spike, and then Linda Talley-Smith, holy shit, right? That's the big dog right there. She's got like 3 different counties. So when you get those 2 motherfuckers in the same room sitting there advocating that this motherfucker didn't commit a crime, it's not about committing a crime. It's about whether or not there's probable cause for a crime. Let's take a look at what probable cause is, okay? So probable cause is a standard by which an officer or agent of the law has grounds to obtain a warrant for, or as an exception to the warrant requirements for, making an arrest or conducting personal property search. So in order to search your shit, there has to be probable cause. In order to make an arrest, there's got to be probable cause. I think there's probable cause that you committed a crime. There's a dead body. There's a dead body on the scene. So, right, Gary Burdine, if let's assume Ned Caldwell got shot and killed, okay? This is just hypothetical. So, hypothetically, let's say Gary Burdine shot Ned Caldwell. Is there probable cause a crime was committed? Well, yeah, there's a dead fucking body. What would have happened with Gary Burdine if Ned's dead? Oh no, they would have thrown the fucking book at him. They would have fucking roasted him. He probably would have went to Eddyville or went to the castle on the Cumberland and got fucking fried. But you switch, you know, that's how you can tell if something is true, or something is right, or something is just. If it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Just switch the roles. Switch it around. Ned Caldwell's drunk and he's fucking coming at Gary Burdine, and Gary Burdine, pow, 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 kills him. And he's dead. So now, Ed Caldwell is dead, and Gary Burdine is alive. Gary Burdine tells everybody, no, he about killed me. He's drunk. He's on top of me and shit. And we're like, okay, now that's good enough. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Let's not even put him on trial, right? That's bullshit. That is not what the fuck would happen. He would have had the book thrown at him. They would try to fucking convict him, and they probably would have pushed for the fucking death penalty, right? So, but if you switch the roles, then all of a sudden you got a badge, you got a gun, you got a fucking uniform, you got the entire power of the whole fucking state. Well, fuck it, who cares? We'll just go ahead and back you blindly no matter what, because we're a bunch of neo-Nazi fucking fascists. We care more about the bankers, politicians, and the fucking corporations than what we do working class families. If you're a working class family and you're fucking poor, watch out, because the cops are allowed to fucking kill in Gallatin County and in Boone County. So the term comes from 4th Amendment of the Constitution, which is about search and seizure. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause. Supported by oath or affirmation, a judge, and particularly describe the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. So the warrant has to say, this is what we want specifically, and then it has to be signed by a judge. Probableness cause may relate to the actual statistical probability or to a general standard of common behavior and customs. The context of the word probable here is not exclusive to community standards and does not predate statistics, as some has suggested. So, Fourth Amendment presumption of reasonableness. Okay, that's a little bit different. They're talking about subpoenas. If a grand jury issues a subpoena, what is the threshold? Here's grand juries. Let's learn a little bit about grand juries. The United States is the only common law jurisdiction in the world that continues to use the grand jury to screen criminal indictments. Generally speaking, a grand jury may issue an indictment for a crime, also known as a true bill, only if it finds, based upon the evidence that has been presented to it, that there is probable cause to believe that a crime has been committed by a criminal suspect. Okay? So, true bill, there's an indictment. Yes, we have probable cause that Ned Caldwell might have committed a crime. Therefore, we're saying that he should go to a jury trial. So, get your lawyers, present your damn evidence, put a fucking, the grand jury is just the step before the jury trial. So, the jury trial is the big fucking, Rudy ha. Brouhaha. So it's a big fucking party, right? It's the big fucking thing at the end. The grand jury could not throw him in jail. The grand jury also has a very limited amount of power. They can't compel witnesses to testify, and they're very much at the mercy of the prosecution. So I think grand juries might be able to fucking just organize themselves. But it says grand juries, 23 or more members. They serve as a group of sustained period of time in all or many of the cases that come up in the jurisdiction, generally under the supervision of a federal U.S. attorney, a county district attorney, or a state attorney general. And here's evidence ex parte, without suspect or person of interest involvement in the proceedings. Interesting. So was Neddy not a part of the fucking proceedings? Was Neddy outside the fucking thing? Or did he go to testify? I testified at mine thing. So it says without the suspect, ex parte. So without the motherfucker there, and they look at the evidence and see if there's a probable cause to indict. So federal U.S. attorney, county district attorney, or state attorney general. Again, all prosecutors, right? So while all states in the U.S. currently have provisions for grand juries, only half of the states actually employ them, and 22 require their use to varying extents. The modern trend is to use an adversarial preliminary hearing before a trial court judge rather than a grand jury, in the screening role determine whether there is evidence establishing probable cause that a defendant committed a serious felony. So there says a modern trend to use an adversarial preliminary hearing. So instead of a fucking grand jury, just have a preliminary hearing where you just fucking fight it out, right? No, you do this, and then whoever, either something comes up and somebody's convinced of something, but the whole thing's just fucking bullshit, okay? That's fucking bullshit, I swear to God. California, Florida, other states use civil grand juries. All right, so we don't need that. All states have provisions for grand juries. Okay. So grand jury, ex parte, state district, county attorney. Gallatin County. Let's read about the Gallatin County, what happened here. Okay, so we already read what happened. I guess, I don't know. The grand jury agreed Monday. Deputy Sheriff Neddy. Oh, Neddy. Yeah, oh, Neddy. 58 was justified in shooting and killing Gary Burdine. Deserved to die because his mama wanted him to. And that day, Caldwell was sent to the home of Joan Burdine on Kentucky 16 near Napoleon because she said her son Gary Burdine had been drinking and was making a disturbance. There's that kid with the freckles and they got washed away at the fucking Ohio River. His mom used to call fucking police on him. Motherfucker's gonna call police on you. Don't give a fuck about your kid if you're fucking calling the police on your own fucking kid. He was drinking and making a disturbance. So what? I'm drunk and singing everybody. That's a disturbance, right? So that was his crime. That's why he deserved to die. He deserved to die because he was drunk and he was making a disturbance. That's it. That's all you need to fucking get shot up in Gallatin County. 866.